Incredible Invertebrates by Debra J. Housel. What is an invertebrate? Swish, squirm, wiggle, creep, crawl. Most animals move but cannot move as you do. You bend, run, hop, and climb. Some animals swish, squirm, wiggle, creep, or crawl. Others can't move at all. These animals are called invertebrates, animals without backbones. We have a blue crayfish, a snail, a jellyfish. There are more than 1 million different invertebrates. Invertebrates' bodies are much simpler than yours. Instead of brains, they have a bundle of cells called a ganglia. This controls their bodies just as your brain controls yours. But since they lack brains, these animals cannot do many of the things that you can. Invertebrates can be found in the air, under the water, and on land. Some are carnivores. They eat other animals. Ladybugs, for example, can eat 50 bugs a day. Wow! Invertebrates have rest periods, but they never fall asleep. Swarms of grasshoppers may eat every green thing for miles. Other invertebrates are herbivores or plant eaters. Snails, for example, eat leaves, vegetables, and fruit. Some invertebrates eat meat and plants. They are omnivores. Earthworms, for example, eat tiny pieces of rotting plants and animals found in the soil. Simple invertebrates. You have a heart, stomach, and lungs, but not all animals have these organs. Sponges and coral do not. Some invertebrates have soft bodies and a stinging body part. They use the sting for the defense and to kill prey. If you have ever tangled with jellyfish, you know how much their stings hurt. Sponges live in the ocean. Until 200 years ago, people believed that sponges were plants. Now we know that they are the simplest of all multicelled animals. Water bears are tiny invertebrates that live in water. They require water to obtain oxygen. They feed on plant and animal cells. Water bears are found throughout the world, including places with extreme temperatures, such as hot springs. Microscopic life. Tiny one-celled animals like bacteria are invertebrates, but they are not what most people think of when they hear the word invertebrate. They are called microscopic life because you need a microscope to see them. Some simple invertebrates can grow new body parts. A sea star has 5 limbs. If one of its limbs get torn off, a new one grows. This is called regeneration. Simple invertebrates reproduce in odd ways. Sponges, jellyfish, and coral do so by budding. Young start growing on their parents' outer bodies. When a baby gets big enough, it breaks off as a separate animal. If a sea star loses a leg, the leg may grow into a new sea star. Amazing! If a piece of living sponge breaks off, it may grow into a new sponge. If the piece falls near the main sponge, it may also reattach. Did you know that every earthworm is both male and female? It's true. When earthworms mate, they lay eggs inside a structure that grows around their bodies like a sleeve. The sleeve slides up over the worm's head and make a cocoon. In a few weeks, new earthworms hatch from the cocoon. Most flatworms are parasites. They live on other animals' bodies. Some flatworms reproduce by splitting in two. One part has the head, the other has the tail. Each piece then grows the missing part. The pieces become two new flatworms. Mollusks have soft bodies. Most have shells covering them. Snails are mollusks with four tentacles or feelers. The eyes at the tips of the two longest tentacles see light and dark. Estivation. If the weather becomes hot or dry, a snail estivates so that it doesn't dry out. The snail uses its foot to stick to a surface. It pulls the rest of its body into its shell. It stays like this until the weather improves. A snail moves around using a muscular foot on the bottom of its body. This foot has mucus to help the snail glide across any surface. Clams live most of their lives under sand or mud. They pull water through their shells. This provides them with food and oxygen. Clams are bivalves. That means they have two shells. Their shells are hinged so they can open and close them. Amazing! Clams can live up to 400 years. After a young clam grows a shell, it buries itself. Each year grows larger. If you look at a clamshell, you will see lines. Just as a tree stump has rings, the clamshell's lines mark the years of its life. You can tell its age by counting the lines on its shell. The octopus and the squid are mollusks without shells. Both live in the sea. They grab other animals with their stinging tentacles and pull them into their beaks. These animals move by shooting jets of water from their bodies. If attacked by a predator, they squirt ink. The dark cloud gives the squid or octopus a chance to get away. This is an octopus inking a diver. Smarty pants. The octopus is the smartest invertebrate and is thought to be able to think. Little was known about the giant squid. A live one has never been caught. Scientists study the dead squids that wash ashore. The largest ever found was 60 feet long. The giant squid is the largest known invertebrate. Just look how long it could be. It's the same as the diesel truck. Let's see if you can see it. Or the bowling alley lane. You have leg joints. These joints let you move at the knee and the ankle. Many invertebrates have jointed legs too. These arthropods include spiders, bees, lobsters, and crabs. Most arthropods lay eggs. Some, like moths, go through stages. They change several times from birth to death. How does an arthropod's life go from beginning to end? Here is a mosquito's life from egg to adult. First you have the egg raft, and then into the larva, the pupa, adult, and look at that mosquito. You have a skeleton. It holds you up and gives you shape. Flesh covers your bones. Unlike you, arthropods have no bones. They have a hard covering on their outer bodies called an exoskeleton. To grow larger, an arthropod molts. It sheds its exoskeleton. Its body is unprotected until the new covering hardens. Most arthropods' bodies have three segments. The head has eyes and a mouth. The next part is the thorax. The thorax often has legs and wings. The last part is the abdomen. This part may have more legs and a tail or a stinger. Spiders, scorpions, and ticks are kinds of arthropods called arachnids. They have 8 legs and are carnivores. Spiders build webs to catch bugs. Scorpions sting their prey. ticks can get into your pet's fur and suck its blood. Around the world, insects are the only animals that live everywhere, including Antarctica. A spider wraps its prey with silk to preserve it for later. Crustaceans have hard outer bodies. Crabs, shrimps, lobsters, and crayfish are crustaceans. Most crabs and shrimp live in the sea, but a few can be found in fresh water. Lobsters always live in salt water. Crayfish look like small lobsters but live in fresh water. One kind of crayfish actually lives on land. During the day, the chimney crayfish digs a hole in a swamp. It pushes up dirt, forming a chimney. At night, it crawls up the chimney to look for food. Some people keep invertebrates as pets because they are quiet and don't need much care. They are also interesting to watch. It's fun to have a hermit crab, a crayfish, or an ant farm. Would you like a pet invertebrate? We have the red swamp crayfish and the crayfish chimney. Look at that. The end.